In this video, I'll be showing you guys my top 7 absolute favorite offensive combinations for MMA striking and Muay Thai. My number 1 top move, I'd say, is the outside foot sweep. If you time it right, it's extremely effective sweeping your opponent to the ground. I like to aim for my opponent's lower calf and hook it with my ankle and shin. Now, instead of bouncing my leg back into my stance like I do for a regular low kick or kick in general, I want to kick through and pull the leg towards me. That is what will cause your opponent to fall. You want to pull his leg right underneath him, almost like you're trying to hook his leg, then drag it so they fall into the splits. Note that your opponent needs to plant all of his weight onto his front leg, for example when your opponent steps forward, or if your opponent is just heavy on the front leg because of their stance like a boxer. You can also do the outside foot sweep on your southpaw opponent's lead foot by using your lead foot to do the sweeping. As you can see, whether you are in southpaw stance or orthodox stance, and whether your opponent is in orthodox stance or southpaw stance, you can still score the outside foot sweep. Number 2 on the list is the failed foot sweep to darting cross and finished by the double step low kick. Note that it is significantly harder to foot sweep someone when you don't add power to the kick, especially if your opponent outweighs you. But I'll attempt it anyways because I love it. And if it fails, it usually at least off balances my opponent. So right after my kicking leg retracts back into my stance, I push off of that foot and surprise my opponent with a darting cross as they are trying to balance themselves. And I always finish off with the double step low kick to exit off and create distance from my opponent. I like to use this combination off the regular outside low kick as well. Low kick, cross to double step low kick. You always want to mix up your combinations ever so slightly to keep your opponent guessing. So you can go for the foot sweep or just an outside low kick and into that cross to double step low kick, or you can even throw that hook to double step low kick. To mix it up even more, after your foot sweep or thigh kick to your cross or hook, you can follow up with the rear high kick. You can even do the same with the left high kick. The same goes with the outside foot sweep against your southpaw opponent. As you can see, this kick to punch to kick combination branched out to many different variations, and that's how striking should be. You want to not only mix it up to confuse your opponent, but you want to be able to adapt to how your opponent is reacting and follow up with the most appropriate attack. The third combination is the inside low kick to the jab cross, followed by the double step low kick. To perform, I push off my lead foot and step into the pivoted position with my right foot and into my inside low kick. Instead of bouncing my leg back into my stance, I bounce it forward. The jab should hit the intended target at the same time my lead foot hits the ground. Then the cross immediately comes after. If my opponent does not move back, I just double step off to the side to exit off and create distance. If my opponent moves backwards, I double step forward to close the distance. Similar to the previous combination, you can mix it up to keep your opponent guessing. After the inside low kick to the jab cross, I also like to follow up with the left body kick instead of the double step low kick. The fourth combination is the rear kick to Superman cross, followed by the double step low kick. This is the only time I karate style snap my kick to the body or low kick. I do this just as a fake, but I want to make contact with the body to sell the kick more, so I actually snap at the body. By snapping, I can also kick my leg back quicker for the Superman cross. So I snap the kick just to make contact, then I kick it back as I throw my Superman cross. And because everyone knows what the Superman cross is, they usually block it. So I follow up with a double step low kick. If they back up after the cross, I close the distance with the double step low kick, and if they stay in front of me, I double step off to the side again to create distance and get away from my opponent. And sometimes I don't make contact at all with the kick. I just throw it out there, snap the kick, just a fake, and then into my Superman cross to double step low kick. The first kick doesn't always need to be to the body, it can be to the leg as well. The first kick can even be thrown to the head. This combination is very similar to my second top move slash combination, which is the fact that we start with a right kick, follow up with a punch, and finish with another kick. The major difference is that the punch is a Superman cross instead of a darting cross or hook. Finally, after the first two strikes, we can follow up with our left or lead kick to the body or even the leg. You always want to be able to pull out your go-to combinations, but it's always really important to be able to switch it up. So when your opponent thinks that they know what you're going to do, you catch them by surprise. The fifth combination is the hand trap to my cross to my double step low kick, as usual. Whether your opponent has a tight shell guard or an open guard, we can hand trap it. I use my lead hand to cross hand trap my opponent's lead hand, and as I pull the arm down, my cross is already being thrown. Again, if my opponent backs away, I close the distance with a double step low kick, and if they stay there, I just exit off to the side. The sixth combination is the cross to rear high kick. This one works so well because as our partner parries our cross, they drop their left hand away from their face for a second, which is when the rear high kick sneaks right in. I throw the cross to the body more because it makes our opponent drop their hands a little bit further down, giving us a bigger window to sneak in the high kick. But I will mix it up and throw the cross to the head as well. The body cross can also make your opponent crunch and lower their head, making it easier for our kick to get to the head if you don't have the flexibility.
So kicks on.
And combination 7. If the right side works, the left side usually does too. I also like to throw the jab to the body, but I will switch it up and throw the jab to the head as well. So to perform, I throw my jab or body jab as I step my rear leg forward, which loads up my left leg for the high kick. Similarly, when I throw my body jab, my opponent may drop their right hand to protect the body, allowing us to sneak that left high kick in. Now because our lead leg is closer to our opponent, I don't usually make contact with the body jab, or else we might be too close for the kick. Also, make sure to step the right leg off to the side for more space. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more top moves, whether that's counters, setups, strategies, and so on, leave me a comment below.
Nice.